All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Deontay Wilder white powder mystery solved. JD's rumor distracts from real cheating. Let's talk about this new rumor that's spreading about JD's dropping some mystery substance in the middle of the fight that might be what poisoned or what had Deontay Wilder feeling groggy. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, JD's has come under scrutiny, from what I understand. I've gotten a lot of messages and a lot of questions and pictures sent to me about something that was dropped in the ring for Deontay by JD's in the middle of the Deontay Wilder fight. A lot of people are concerned that this may be something related to maybe, something or with his water or whatever. But nope, sorry, it's not the case. I called Tay Jones and I asked him. He's somebody that I usually talk to. He's been on a lot of channels. Well-known associate of Deontay Wilder, and I asked Tay, what is this thing? Have you seen this? What is this? And it's gauze, regular gauze that you use. Like if somebody's bleeding or a cut, and you need to clean something, or up underneath the tape. I think some tape might actually gauze might, but just regular gauze stuff that is in his pocket. So apparently Deontay Wilder was losing a fight. JD's had some gauze in his pocket or something, and he drops it in the ring, and he grabs it and he picks it up and he puts the gauze back in his pocket. And there you go. There's the mystery solved. It's gauze. Nothing related to the water, which honestly, man, I don't get why you guys would say it had something to do with the water, because, dude, he said that he started feeling like that on the way in. So why would it be in the ring with JD's? That just doesn't make any logical sense. But this is the thing, man. And I think this is the important thing, because I thought, how long should I just drag this out that it's gauze, right? Just regular something white in his pocket. Just because something's white in your pocket, then it drops, doesn't mean that it is something scandalous, okay? And it's not connected anything. And here's the thing. But let me get to what is crazy about it, okay? Look, there's a lot of sensationalizing going on around this Deontay Wilder cheating thing. And, I do believe that it's a natural thing to take place because everybody knows he cheats, right? It's just, he's already been caught on the gloves, right? So if you look at what Deontay Wilder has actually accused Tyson Fury of, it falls into basically three things: the gloves, the towel being thrown in, and he believes that his water was spiked. He doesn't know I don't know if he knows or not, actually, if his water is spiked, but he believes that his water was spiked, right? Those are the three things that he says that he believes. Number one, the glove. That is already proven. So right there, when you are saying, has Deontay Wilder cheated? Once you establish, that Tyson Fury cheated, once you establish that Tyson Fury cheated with the gloves, then Tyson Fury cheated, period. That's it. He cheated. And if it's in the first fight, which it was, you saw it, he cheated in the first fight. If it's in the second fight and you see it in the second fight, he cheated in the second fight. That's just what it is. So if you are satisfied right there with the gloves, there's no need for you to move on to the second, right? But say for some reason you just can't see what's obvious and right in front of your face, and you say, well, I don't understand the gloves. Then you move back to the towel. And you say, well, why could Mark Breland be, what is the difference does it make that he threw in the towel? Well, hey, Deontay Wilder had specific instructions to let him fight himself out of any rough situations. And I do believe it was the 7th round, so there was almost half the fight left. Deontay Wilder felt like, hey, man, maybe my head could have cleared and I could have continued to fight, right? And been in a better situation. And he had told Mark Breland that, and Mark Breland knew that. Right there, that's enough to let Mark Breland go. And also, that's enough for Deontay Wilder to be suspicious about the fight. because Mark Breland did something that Deontay Wilder asked him not to do. And for everybody that's going to come with that next argument that we all know is there, that next argument that that we know you're going to make, which is that Deontay Wilder was so hurt that he was going to be. There's no way that they should allow that to happen. That there's no way that they should have that Mark Breland is in a was in the right, and that's what he should have done. Skip what they had agreed to beforehand. It's time to no. If they agreed and Mark Breland said, yeah, I promise you, no matter what, I won't throw in a towel. I'll wait for Kenny Bayless to throw in a towel. If they had that conversation, right, and Mark Breland said, yeah, okay, I understand. No, I will not. Then why would he turn around and do something different? You see, so if you believe the gloves, right, you don't need to get to the towel. But if you don't believe the glove and you go to the towel, right there, you can say, as far as the water being tainted, you may not know that. Well, actually, that's the next one. Just the towel being thrown in. Then the next thing, and things related to the towel, was, Andre Dirrell in the ear of Mark Breland making and, had undue influence over Mark Breland actually throwing in the towel. And because, people say that Andre Dirrell made a lot of money on that fight. He's a crunk fighter. Tyson Fury's fighting out of crunk gym. Sugar Hill's a crunk fighter. And it was like a good old boy Detroit network, right? And they convinced Mark Breland to throw in the towel, right? That's another part of it. But Deontay Wilder's right in that because he told Mark Breland not to do it. So it's very reasonable for him to wonder why Mark Breland would do something he specifically told him not to do, right? So for me, that was funny. These and the things with the gloves and the thing with as far as firing Mark Breland for throwing in the towel, those are reasonable things. Reasonable things that do not need to be sensationalized. You should not be seeing a guy's hand half in the glove and you see that the glove is flopping around. So that's definitely the case. No need to speculate. It's on tape. Same thing with the second fight glove. It's on tape. No need to speculate, right? And then in this particular thing about Mark Breland getting fired and whether or not he had undue influence or whatever, it really doesn't matter who told Mark Breland to do it. Mark Breland was told not to do it, right? But even if you miss those, then you go to the water, right? And whether or not the water was, but sometimes people are not going to believe the water because how can you really, unless you see a toxicology report? You know it's happened before, which isn't completely unreasonable because in Brazil versus Argentina in the early 1990s, Maradona, I do believe that's the guy's name, Maradona admitted that the Argentine team spiked the water of the Brazilian team, right? And you've had other people talk about spiked water. But so even though you may not believe that Deontay Wilder himself, still it's not sensationalized, and it is actually what Deontay Wilder accused. But this thing with JD's, this thing and some other stuff that I see, it's like, man, this is overkill. And it's almost like I would expect this to happen from people that wanted to add confusion and wanted more people not to believe it, right? Because the truth of the matter is, the more things that some people believe that you have to believe everything that a person says in order to think the guy is telling the truth, right? Like, if I don't believe everything this person says, then everything that he says is a lie. Now, that's reasonable if somebody's just lying. But if Deontay Wilder is saying he's suspecting things, I think you should give the dude the reasonable benefit of the doubt. However, most people are going to look at it like this. They're going to say, well, yeah, I believe the gloves, but why is he saying all these other things? So the more things that you add to it that are unnecessary, the less believable it becomes to people and the more confusion that you add to it. So, I had to respond to this because so many people are asking about this. And, as much as I believe Tyson Fury is a cheat, it's really just a simple phone call to somebody to ask why somebody might have, a white ball drop out of their hand. You know what I mean? It's like, how ham-handed would they have to be to have like a big pill? What is it? like in the old movies, you know, remember they used to have chloroform, like it's maybe like a chloroform bottle or something. Like he's gonna walk up behind Deontay Wilder with a chloroform and a scarf and make you that type of stuff. I mean, just no, man. But anyway, you know, Deontay Wilder deserves to be treated fairly and not be cheated. But things like this really don't help too much. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.